What up, guys? It's your boy Kimbo here, and it's time for a special video. I'm gonna call it Codebreaker, so I'll explain why in a little bit. But I guess a little update on things. So my former college is actually shutting down. Like, it's crazy. And it got announced literally on the channel anniversary. So like when it was the channel anniversary, this channel anniversary, that same day it got announced that it was shutting down. So for about like, it'll be like 2.5, 3 days, I will be gone, but I'll be still like filming and everything because I got big time plans, especially when it comes down to things paying homage, because I'll just say big time plans, skits, and plenty of other things as well. So yeah, hope you're looking forward to that. It's gonna hit in the heart big time, going back one final time and just wrapping up loose ends and going back to like the stomping grounds. If you're a long time fan of the channel, there's a point like seeing videos that I filmed and such in college, and even like the skit series, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's gonna hit in the heart in a major way. But yeah, with that being said, we're gonna get into this. Not really an update, it's like a discussion video, and I'm calling it Codebreaker. So with this, I'm just gonna talk about like some behind the scenes stuff, like even like my thought process with things that I know how to speak on like too much. Yeah, so this being in terms of like things for skits. Also, I'm sure you guys see me post in the community tab. I might post like pictures of the hearts with them and such, kind of like, if you will, cryptic messages and stuff. But you could tell the meaning behind a lot of them, if you see a certain thing, it's like, oh, hey, something related to this. But yeah, I figure I'd talk about like some just inspirations for things. So anybody who doesn't know, I'm a big time wrestling fan, especially like WWE, getting used to like watching more promotional companies and everything. But I've definitely been a WWE fan for the longest time since I was a kid, and just so glad that Triple H is in charge of things and running things. And this new era is insane. It's going to even get wilder because all the superstars are going to be coming back, but that's besides the point. With that, there are plenty of superstars that I get inspiration and such from, even just like whether it's like their promos or anything, and it's just like that type of thing, because it's storytelling with it. Like Cody Rhodes finished the story. That's why I've quoted it a lot, because finishing the story of Metal Fight Beyblade, which is going to be happening soon. If you're wondering when, I'm going to start getting into the last part of the Homage series. I recently unboxed all the 3D printed bays, the bays that weren't released: Berserker, Byakko, Guardian Garudis, Phantom Fenrir. I did have a Byakko before, but we're going to call this Byakko version 2, which doesn't make sense because Byaku is a completely different blader from one point when we see Byakko at the beginning of the arc to when he shows off his power big time, like his full-fledged power, which was one of the battles that'll be coming up soon. If you've seen how I've done that Homage series, you'll see how I go about, and I'll finish it off and finish the story with it. And that includes making a playlist. So I'm going to make a playlist of, all the battles from the Homage series. It might take me a little bit of time to do so, but I'm going to do that. If you don't know what the Homage series is, I've been obviously a Metal Fight Beyblade fan for the longest time. Had my channel for 12 years. It's one of the things that started it, along with the first gen of Bakugan. And you talk about all the battles and such that I did, leading to me even making my own series, my skits that pay homage to the show, and also happen in like a split timeline. But this timeline is like every single series of Beyblade actually canonically existing in the same world, where they didn't connect it under TT and Hasbro. I do, but I do so with my story and stuff too, but paying homage to the story that happened with that in like another timeline, if you will. So, had my first skit series, over 200 episodes, the Zero G skit series, the sequel to it, over 100 episodes, now being in the burst and plans going forward and everything, But after finishing the MFB skits, I always had a plan to go and do an homage series, that being one last time going through, looking at the show, and all these battles being based off the show, but using the giant life-size stadium. So that going from like the Metal Fight Beyblade battles to like the survival battle, the Stormy battle royale and such battle bladers, to like things with season 2, all the different team battles, also like dream battles and such with it as well, going all the way up till the end of the Beyblade World Championships, all the stuff with Starbreaker, all the stuff with Hades Inc. and Hades City, etc., etc. Season 3, the Legendary Bladers, Nemesis Crisis, all that stuff. Season 4, rebuilding the world, all the battles with like Zero and these new gen Bladers facing off against one another, as well as like the build up to Neo Battle Bladers, and then the final arc afterwards, the Lost Arc, which had some of the bays that weren't made. That's the point where we're at, is with the Lost Arc with some of the bays that weren't made. But now those bays have been made thanks to Bench Blade, and I get to finish the story. I'm so excited about that because it's a story that's literally, you talk about 12 years putting the bow on it. And y'all know, it's my type of story, and it's going to go out in a crazy fashion. So even the very last video you see for me doing Metal Fight Beyblade and stuff after this story concludes is going to be wild. I'll just say that. Stay tuned. You guys like those type of battles and such big time, and there's going to be more coming with the end of this story, but I'm going to be making a playlist of all of them because it's a series that I worked on big time, like what, 2021. It's been 2 years. It has been 2 years since I've actually filmed for it, and that's because it's, you know, been on hiatus until the bays have come, and here we are 2 years later. They're a reality. So stay tuned for that. I'll be working on that big time. That's one of my big time projects planned after I get back. And damn, it's storming outside big time. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, so with that being said, explaining this. With like the process of making the skits and everything, I like mystery. So like even the mystery factor, or like, you know, puzzles and riddles. I'm a big Zelda fan, you know. So it incorporates even like, I get homage. You talk about homage that I'm getting from like Zelda, from wrestling, from so many different things that I just enjoy, and niches that I like, you know, and like stories and such. And that includes even with wrestling. So you talk about the first, you know, gen skits that I made, you know. A lot of the words being like worms and everything when it came to the evils, and that paying homage to obviously Metal Fight Beyblade with the Nemesis Crisis and such, and paying homage with a lot of characters. And then with the Zero G ones, paying homage to characters, you know, throughout Zero G, but also for the Oracle that I made, you hear me say the phrase "let me in." So that's paying homage to, like, you know, Bray Wyatt, because I love the storytelling that Bray has. You know, you could tell he talks like it's through code, but there's like meticulous movements with everything, and everything has meaning and such. But it makes you think, and it's like, what's the next thing they're gonna do? And it makes it super unpredictable. And that's one thing I enjoyed. And R.I.P. Bray Wyatt, of course. I'm looking forward to Uncle Howdy debuting with the Wyatt 6, because it's definitely coming. They've been putting QR codes, and even how they've been doing that is just awesome, you know. Love that type of style and the mystery and everything. But I get big time inspiration for that. And even with the burst skits that I'm doing now with the evil, you guys hear the phrase TikTok a lot. It's not talking about the platform. It's paying homage to a wrestler, Karrion Kross or Killer Kross, you know, Karrion Kross, because just even how they had his persona in NXT, and that they brought him back in his persona now. That man's gonna be a future world champion. I'm calling it, because I love what he's doing with the Final Testament. It's more of the long-term storytelling with him, which is a lot of people, like, they don't get, like Bray and Carrie and those type of stories that are way long-term. But then when it gets to that point where things really pick up and you see how they all connect, and even like the meaning behind everything, it's like, holy, that's crazy. That's how it is even with my skits. So it was a big time mystery thing with like the first ones. Same thing with the second. Like with the Zero G ones, the whole build up, it's gonna be the same case for the burst ones, and even going forward, you know. But I figure I just talk about like those inspirations and stuff behind it. So that's why I like doing things the way I do, even when it comes to like battles. So, you know, when I add a bay to like the BU Plus series, you know, showing a character with a halo over their head, it's like, hey, they're coming, their combo's coming, it's on the way, you know what I mean? They're about to get their roses, so they all like get their true roses and flowers and everything. That being the characters with my BU Plus series, and also even with like the skits, or how I go about doing things, you know. It's like how I've recently posted pictures like the logos of Yakko, Garuda's Fenrir, the moments where we saw like Baihu or Doji or Karua in the show, like that type of stuff. So it's kind of like that whole mystery kind of thing with it, because I love keeping you guys on your toes, because it's like 10,000 videos, and it's like, hey, can't have everything be too predictable. There's still some patterns of like how I go about and doing things, you know, but still unpredictable with quite a bit of stuff about how I go about it. And it's just, It's so much fun, man. Absolutely, just love going with like the mystery style of things, but some things being straightforward, battles with certain bays and everything. But then getting on the creative side even more so with like the skits and other projects that I do and such. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I guess that's the best way of explaining it, like breaking the code. So that being the thing with the code, and even with it, pay attention to like some of, if you watch the skits, I pay homage by even saying some words or even like details of things, like sun, moon, the earth, certain characters' dialogue, certain phrases and stuff. I just like paying homage with it. It's that type of thing where you gotta like deep dive and such and know your history and stuff on even Beyblade, or even if it's nice because it's, if you're a wrestling fan, you pick up on some things too or such, But it's just like, I'll say the inspirations now, like wrestling, Zelda, of course, Beyblade, even things with Bakugan. If you're wondering, one day I would love to do Bakugan skits. Just got to figure out how to go about that, but got to get the Beyblade stuff out of the way. That's a project for way, way in the future. But yeah, I figure I just go about saying like the thought process when it comes to making videos and everything. Plus, I have like crazy ADHD, so it's like, I mean, if you can't tell how much I put out videos and stuff, I just get ideas, and with that, I'm like, all right, let's go with this. Gonna create. Don't know exactly how things are gonna turn out. However it's filmed and however it goes, that's how it's meant to go. There were points where it would be like, hey, do you ever redo battles or anything with it? And there were points way in the past where I did, but now it's like, nah, whatever is meant to happen will naturally happen with the battles and everything, and it's created magic. So it's just going with the flow, But anyways, guys, I'm gonna end it off there. That's gonna do it. Hopefully this gave a little bit more insight on just even the thought process when it comes to filming, like Beyblade, Bakugan, with the skits and everything. Even like deck building for Bakugan. I like going with certain themes sometimes, but I like switching it up, and especially going with what you've got. So I'm gonna be I'll be making deck profiles and stuff going forward, but with it's gonna be the cards that I've gotten working with it. So you're not gonna see so much of crazy cards like Super Fuel or Air Zero or Dan or anything like that, like staples that you see in every deck. It's gonna be more of like the game not getting the full love that it deserved, and just showing what you could do with what you got. Because it even being tougher to get some stuff nowadays, But anyways, guys, I guess it's going to do it. Hopefully that explained things. Hopefully it gave a little bit more insight. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. If you have like any ideas or questions or something, feel free to ask them in the comments. Yeah. Figured this would be a fun video to just make and talk about things because, never really talked about like the mystery factor that I enjoy with just like putting out the content, even with the story building and everything, or like some of the inspirations. But yeah, and a hell of a lot of inspirations I didn't even mention with this. Just trying to keep it kind of short because it's already going like 13 minutes. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. So yeah, guys, till next time, it's your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Till then, stay awesome and cool shoot or let it rip or Bakugan bro. I'm up out of here.